Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of the Triple Trio, our weekly look at all things Hong Kong racing and also a lens towards the great sport around the world, joined by the best form analyst in Hong Kong and Clint Hutchison and the Hall of Famer and Raymond Shane Dye. It's great to be back, Hutch.
It is great to have you back, Richo. Now, how was the trip? Where did you go? What did you do?
Oh, I went to your part of the world, my friend, where your beautiful wife's from, and Seattle in America, a little trip up to Canada as well. So, had a lot of fun, Raymond Shane. Everywhere I went, Golden Boy, I just told him I knew you. You were my mate.
Oh, good. It was very convenient you to be away while the World Championships Athletics was on.
Oh, disappointing. I didn't get to see a lot of that, but I watched a lot from afar over in Tokyo, and I saw a lot of New Zealand athletes dominate.
Oh, it was fantastic. Australia won gold. I'm not too sure how that small country where I come from, New Zealand, went. Did you realise how many gold?
Yeah, you got two gold.
But,
you got
two gold, so we doubled your gold.
Well, you got two gold, but one of them was in the steeplechase, which is really a benchmark 64, to be fair. So if you want to claim it, mate, you claim away, my friend. No, it was fantastic. That was Geordie Beamish and Hamish Kerr, of course, winning the high jump. So the Kiwis on fire.
Yeah. Any snaps on the trip?
Well, you know... I keep my shirt on at all times, so I can assure you of that. There's a little look at, there we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful look in Canada, mate. What a great part of the world. Lake Louise, I think, should be, it should be a modern wonder of the world. There you go, Lake Louise.
Carves out all of that.
Oh, my God. Oh, then I went
Seahawks.
Mighty Seahawks, mate. They were fantastic. Hey, Golden Boy, that is one special game, NFL football, mate. That is so good.
It's different. It's amazing. They really get into it, but the crowds are extraordinary. You know, it's even the college over there. The college is bigger than the NFL. It's incredible.
It is amazing, and that was the reason I was there, to go and tuck in my daughter, who's going to go over and study for...
She's a superstar.
5 years over in the University of Washington, the mighty Huskies. So a lot of fun. And while I was away, by gee, these boys were on fire. Check it out.
But I've got My Wish on top.
He's been patient, Ferraris. The run's there for My Wish. In the meantime, Happy Together's joined in, but patience is a virtue, and it is for Luke Ferraris as My Wish hit the gap and won the Celebration Cup.
This is one newcomer that he's riding called Packing Phoenix. I've loved the trials. He's got a very tough one to beat in the same race. One of John's sizes, but I think you just take the Quinella.
Packing Phoenix is in front of Spicy Standard and Patch of Time. He's getting tired, Packing Phoenix, but he's just going to see it out.
I think Little Paradise will be tough to beat.
Aaron still has the lead from Little Paradise. Star Rise late through the centre. Little Paradise favourite takes over and he wins. Little Paradise.
I'm going to go race 1, Speedy Smarty. I think from gate 3 he'll lead and be hard to run down.
Speedy Smarty leads a neck over Not the Silly One and Double Bingo. Speedy Smarty still in front, half a length, Not the Silly One and Double Bingo. Speedy Smarty and Karis Teaton.
Brilliant stuff, boys. And once again, the Golden Boy, he starts he is lethal when he finds the best bet in the first couple of races. He's lethal.
He's in good form.
He certainly is. Hey, congratulations also to Brett Crawford, the champion South African trainer. He has hit the board over in Hong Kong.
Yeah, you need to get off and get a winner pretty early. And I tell you what, Shane, it looks like he's really improved this horse. Couldn't believe how quickly Ninja Derby jumped, led. He never looked like losing. It looks as though he's clearly put the polish on this one.
Yeah, well, of course he had 2 winners, which is a big effort. And he hasn't got a lot of horses, but they've been trialling all right. And I'm sure he'll have more winners to come very soon.
Yeah, and he sealed it with a kiss by all reports as well with his partner Gwen. So that was beautiful. There we go. Sealed with a kiss. The way to do it. So he is going to be a big player, no doubt, because he's a classy trainer.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's great to see him get off the board, like you said. I mean, some of the new trainers, they come in, they don't have a runner for a while. What I like about what Brent's done is, he's got a runner. He's had a few runners, and they've actually performed well. So, he might garner us a bit more support now, and you do need to hit the board, and he's certainly done that.
We've got global racing where we look all around the globe, and of course it's ARC weekend, so from a world point of view, really, really important there. Luke Ferraris is coming up on the show as well, the Idol, the form files. We've literally got it all, but first, we're racing at Sha Tin on Saturday. Let's find some winners. Sha Tin on Saturday. Let's identify 4 races to have a bet into. And we start with race number 7 here, Hutch.
Yeah, the quaddie legs, the latter stages of the
you
day.
don't-
So let's hope we can get that. Look, Metro Power was very impressive and well recommended by Shane when resuming. And I think if he runs anywhere near that sort of mark, he'll be hard to beat. I've got WizKid around a $9 chance. Stellar Express hasn't drawn well, but he's more than capable, and Fast Responder brings that Metro Power form in. Shane, I like this performance last season from Stellar Express. He found the outside fence. Of course, Metro Power's come out since, and we'll look at that in a moment. But the little issue for Stellar Express this time around, and it is a race that's produced 4 subsequent winners, this event we're looking at, is Stellar Express hasn't drawn as favourably.
No, he's drawn in. There's no difference between the weight, this horse, and Metro Power, what they carried. I think there's £1 difference. Here's Metro Power winning 3 weeks ago. He was very impressive, went straight to the front. He ran time. He looked good. Now, the only worry with this horse, Clint, is he did this first up last year, as you just saw behind Stellar Express, and then he went backwards second up. So does he do that this time? It's another season. He's a little bit stronger. He shouldn't do it on that run, I don't think. But that's always in the back of my mind, Clint.
I think what you have to weigh up, they race to patterns, and he may well do that, Shane. Has he genuinely improved? I think he has, but the other factor could well be that second up factor that you've mentioned. Like you said, at the weights, well, he'll go well. It's also a different race shape this time around, Shane. There's a lot more pressure. He won't get his own way. He won't get to sort of dictate the pressure or pace of the race.
What about WizKid here?
WizKid, he's more than capable, Shane. I think, he's got to be in the mix. I've got him marked second elect at this point in time. And he is a straight course horse. So he does resume, and you get Zach Pert. So there's some positives.
Well, he goes well first up. He goes well up the straight. He's had 2 trials and trialled both well. He's got sack on, but he's got an inside gate. Here's Packing Bowl leading all the way and winning, and Brittany gave this a good ride this day. Up the straight now, and there's a lot of pace in this race, Clint. There's like Youthful Spirits. He goes, Metro Power goes, and of course, Packing Bowl, Stellar Express, WizKid, they all go. So there's a ton of pace. I don't know whether he's going to be suited up the straight.
Do you think Metro Power can take a sit off them or sit amongst them and still produce that sort of figure or performance?
From gate 10, you've seen what he did last year first up. He was in behind. There's no reason why he has to lead. It all depends. If he jumps running and he does, that's a benefit to him. But if something takes him on, he takes a sit. You know that Youthful Spirits is going to go fast. That's all he does. His one run up the straight wasn't very good. He's probably better at Happy Valley. So that's a worry for him, but he'll probably let him go, I would say.
What's your selections here, the golden one?
I'm going Metro Power. I think First Responder ran very well the other day. He's got gate 14, and if there's a lot of pace, he will hit the line, and he's the one that's going to come from off them. And Stellar Express. Just remember with Stellar Express, he's 49 pounds lighter than his last run. But if you go back to last season, he's the same weight as he was when he ran second first up. So he had put 50 pounds on during the season.
Okay, so you both agree that Metro Power is our starting point there for the first leg of that quaddie. We move to race number 8. What do you like here, Hutch?
Look, I think that it's a very competitive race, but Soleil Fighter, Mojave Desert, Telecom Fighters and Talent's Ambition, who beat all of those horses above him there at the end of last season, is more than capable of landing a blow. This is Mojave Desert. Shane, I think he was impressive. The rail was a very good spot to be this day, and he had a nice trail in the race. He popped out at the right time, and he's a pretty handy horse on his day. But he rises in grade, drops a lot in weight. Very handy horse. How did you think he could fare here?
He's up in class, as you said. He got a lovely ride this day. He's definitely a chance because he's in form. And the other thing is he's had the 2 runs, so he's actually fit. Here we go to Talent Supreme, who come from Talent's Ambition, I should say, who come from back. This is just a dirt horse, and he goes good, but he's got to be ridden back. And from gate 2, I think he's got. If they try and ride him 3 lengths closer, he'll go no good. So, your heart's in your mouth. He'll get back. He'll run on. He's got a very good chance. He's trialled really well too, that horse.
I like the fact that Soleil Fighter's had a run. I think Telecom Fighters can go forward. He handles the surface well. I think Zach, although he's drawn wide, and I really give them a penalty here when they're drawn awkwardly, he's got a gate 11. He had a wide gate in that race as well, and he crossed pretty easy. I don't think there's as much pressure. I think Zach can get across. He can park outside the lead, maybe control it. Chilby wasn't suited. Shane, probably the only time he tried the dirt off a slow speed. How did you think he'd go?
Well, of course, he's had ligament injuries and he hasn't had a run for a while. He's had one unplaced run on the dirt, but he didn't go bad and it just wasn't suited, as you said. His trial was okay, but he may need a run. His body weight's okay, but it's just a little bit worried first up in this type of race with 135 pounds. But he's got the class to win, Clint.
And he draws 10 out of 12. Who have you got on top, Shane?
I've got Talent's Ambition from Salone Fighter who come across, and Marjavi Desert, 7-4-12 in that race.
Okay, so you've gone with Lyle Hewitson and Mark Newnham. And Mark Newnham, the leading trainer at the moment. Isn't that absolutely awesome?
Yeah, he's got some firepower too. He'll keep going well, I think.
And we move to our next race, Hutch, which is race number 9. We're over the 1,200 metres here. Class 3, who do you like?
Yeah, one of the more exciting horses on the day, Bulb General. I may bring him in a little bit more in my early market. I've got him marked a 220 favourite, around $10, lucky 8. I think he'll be bigger than that. We'll get some price there. Beauty Infinity's capable, same price. Jumbo Treasure was disappointing first up against Bulb General. That's him at the very left of screen. But I think he can turn it around. Gee whiz, the last 2 performances from Bulb General, Shane, have been exceptional. His sectionals have been outstanding. This day they went quick. The race set up nicely for him. We've seen Wonder Star perform well. But I love the way that he just quickened up and Zach was able to just to lock him down late.
Well, he's a really nice horse. He was impressive. And you got to remember last season, he went better second up than first up. So you would expect him to do that again. He's got an awkward gait, but Zach knows him. And he's a really nice horse. He runs very good sectionals, Clint.
Yeah, looks a nice horse for Jamie Richards, and I think he can continue his rise through the ranks, Richo.
Who are the dangers? Can we look at the Boombox?
Yeah, well, this is an interesting run of the Boombox because he looked himself very progressive last season. Of course, Chateau Neuf is consistent at this level. There's actually 4 winners out of this race as well that we're looking at from sort of at the tail end of last season. But the Boombox he'll get back. I thought his trial, which we'll take a look at in a moment, was okay. He'll probably benefit a little bit with the run, but if the speed is on enough, he could run well. Did you like the Boombox here, Shane?
Yeah, he's not the worst. Like, he won 3 straight, I think. He won his first 3 starts. Here he is here down the outside trialling. Infinite Resolve trialled pretty well. He was a little bit disappointing first up, but on this trial, he could go better. Now, the Boombox, he's had 3 trials this time, man, and you got to remember he never trials well. Before he was winning last year, his trials were only okay. So he's going to get back. He's going to run on. He goes very good for Vincent Ho. He's only ridden him the 3 times for 3 wins, I think. So he's not the worst. He'll get back and run on.
3, 7, 8 and 5 for you, Hutch. Golden, who do you like?
Well, it's hard to go past Bulb General, how he won first up. Then Lucky 8's just going to get the right run. He's got the right weight, and his first up run was good. And Lung Pan Spirit, the 6, had no luck the other day, and from a good gate, he'll be on pace and he'll definitely go better.
And we get to the lucky last. We're over 1,800 metres here for race number 10. Zach's riding Gentleman Legacy, and that's where we go.
Yeah, nice recent trial from him, but we'll take a look at a trial and a replay with regard to him. Joy Springs Flying wasn't suited by a slow race first up. Rhoda New Page is another one, absolutely thriving. Who knows where the ceiling is? I think Bravehearts could probably run on as well. But look, this was the last time last season when they clashed. Gentleman Legacy was second at Joy of Spring. I want to pick Shane's brain a little bit here. Gentleman Legacy, just a bit, takes a while to wind up, Shane. And Joy of Spring, he travelled better in his races. Can he hold this form and beat Gentleman Legacy again, do you think? Or is it advantage Gentleman Legacy at the weights?
I think he can win Joy of Spring because of the one run. The other horse is a grinder. Joy of Spring quickens a little bit better than him. Here he is winning last season. He improved with every run last year, Clint. Now, he's had a 1,700-metre trial, I'm pretty sure,
yes,
or a 1,600 metre.
Yep.
And he trialled really well, Gentleman Legacy. he got back off them and run on, and he was pushed out. So it was a good trial. But I think whatever he does here, Clint, he's going to improve. Now, whether he can win or not is debatable, but he will improve with this run.
He does meet Joy of Spring Richo 8 pounds better for their clash, and I think he's improving. And you know, he's a very interesting horse, Gentleman Legacy. I think that race that we watched that he won rated very high. It was an excellent performance. So he's going the right way about it.
Okay, Rode a New Deal with Harry Bentley in the saddle.
Rode a New Page's got a great chance. Yeah, it's got a very good chance. Look, I've underestimated how good this guy's going, Shane. The worry for me, the negative is that 5 have competed out of this race, not one of them's run a place. But he's putting a winning sequence together. He can take a position, and he seems to be going pretty well.
Well, he goes to the 1800 for the first time, but I don't think that'll be too much of a problem, especially from his gait. He can just come across. Not a lot of pace in this. It all depends how fast the kid goes on aerial, and if he leads. Outside that, there's not. So he's going to get across pretty easy and get an easy run, unless the kid goes too fast on aerial. So he gets his chance. Nice horse, but what his mark is, he might be getting to it soon, I think.
Shane, do you agree with Hutch? Are you with the 4 Gentleman Legacy, or are you going elsewhere?
I'm going to go Joy of Spring because it's had one run. The other horse, whatever he does, will improve, but it's not going to be a surprise if Gentleman Legacy wins. Cambridge was racing really well at the end of the last season. He's not the worst, and of course, Rode a New Page. There's one roughie in there that could go better. It's on such a great rating now. And that's Mighty Catcher. And from gate 7, he'll be forward. He's definitely not the worst this season. He's just on too good a rating now.
Oh, when the Golden Boy throws out a little of those little nuggets, they're worth picking up those crumbs now and then. They're very tasty when he gets it right. Money Catcher, horse number 10 in the lucky last. We'll have the best bets at the end of our program. But first, let's join our star power guest, Luke Ferraris.
Here they come to the final 200 metres. Harmony Fire, still there is Sergeant Pepper. Master Champion, desperate for room on the inside. Plentiful, Moon Rocket, Grand Nova, a grandstand finish coming up. Harmony Fire just in front, Moon Rocket, Master Champion. Harmony Fire's held on. He's been patient, Ferraris. The run's there for My Wish. In the meantime, Happy Together's joined in, but patience is a virtue, and it is for Luke Ferraris as My Wish hit the gap and won the Celebration Cup.
Wonderful ride there by Luke Ferraris, winning that Group 3 on My Wish. He joins us now. We don't have any favourites on this program, Hutch, but we certainly don't have anyone we like more than this young man, because he is quality. Luke, thanks for joining us, mate, and congratulations, a great win.
Thank you much for having me back on.
Mate, we love having you on. What was it? Patience was a virtue, and you were rewarded with My Wish.
Yeah, we were. There was a couple of nervous moments. I think just because of how slow we went, I was worried that something down the outside was going to get first run on us. But, he quickened up really well.
Hey, nice to see, and you can run us through a little bit of this race as well, Luke, because you drew well. You were probably always going to land in a nice spot, but you obviously had one of the key dangers outside you. I think it was Brenton Avdullah sort of just having you where he wanted you, but My Wish, he was probably the premier 4-year-old last year. He showed that great turn of foot. Do you feel like he's come back better? And also just once again, a recap of what it was going through your mind at stages of this race.
I wasn't too sure what was going... Sorry, to answer your first question, yeah, I think he has come back better. He's definitely stronger and more mature as a horse. But sort of at this stage of the race, I couldn't quite work out what the two up front were doing. Through a bit of a spanner in the works. I thought they'd go along a bit quicker than this, and it'd be running at a bit more genuine pace. When we got into this spot, I wasn't too worried because Pray for Mur hadn't gone hard, so I thought he was going to kick quite well. And I actually thought Co-Partner Prance, just the run he had, might have folded up a bit sooner. And then it worked out opposite. I got on the back of Co-Partner Prance here, and I thought Pack and Hermod came under a bit of pressure early, and that there would be a run would eventuate there. And then sort of as we got to the final furlong, Co-Partner Prime started to hang out a bit under pressure and sort of just created that small gap that he needed. He's not a really big horse, so you can sort of stick him in a tight gaps, and he's got the heart to go through it.
Shane, it was absolutely perfect the more you watch that replay.
He's come back really well. His trials were good. He's a very, very nice horse, and he can quicken. And that's the thing. Not a lot of horses in big races can quicken like he can, so it's an advantage. You can get into a little bit of trouble with him, and you know you're going to get out of it. And you can also wait on him because he can find that 2 lengths. And Luke gave him a perfect ride there.
Yeah, so what he goes to the Sha Tin Trophy on October 19. But Luke, I don't think you ride. Is that right?
Yeah. You'll probably get 115. So they've got a Alexi Bedell to ride in there.
Yeah, but obviously it'll be all outside of that race. I mean, going forward into the preparation, and here's just a reminder as well, according to Idle Horse. So if you want some of the great news and articles, I think Voyage Bubble running it, so everyone else...
And Galaxy Patch.
So many horses aren't going to have different jockey bookings. But just going back to My Wish, so presumably the Hong Kong Mile would be the option, I'm thinking. But then when you think of his Derby run last year, is Mark keeping an open book? What would your preference be?
I think the grand final for him will be International Mile.
Yeah.
In December. I think he's more effective over the shorter trips, and you can if you do have somewhat of a difficult draw, you can use him up early to get a good spot. I think if you went further than that, you'd be a bit exposed if you had a bad barrier to put him in a good position and still expect him to finish. Like we saw in the Derby, we had to go all the way back, but he had the finish. Had to try to put him in a spot up on the speed, I don't think he would have had the same finish. So in a mile, sort of all bases are covered. If he draws 10 or worse, you can still fly the lids and put him in the 1-1 and he'll produce the same finish.
How do you reflect on the season that you've just had? So congratulations on that. You rode outstandingly, especially on horses that the market didn't give you the winning chance that you really deserved. And also, how's this season started for you with 3 wins and 5 placings already?
Thanks. Yeah, last season was fantastic. The ball sort of bounced in our favour more times than it didn't, I think.
Well, you ran 5th, Luke. Like, you've had a great year. Tied 4th. I mean, 47 wins. You build on what you've done previously. So it's headed in the right direction for you in Hong Kong anyway. You're certainly getting some momentum as a young rider.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. Considering I can't ride any of the lightweights, and sort of 121 pounds is sort of where I keep my minimum. Looking back, I think it was a better season than I gave myself credit for at the time. This season, it's obviously started great with the Group 3. Maybe a little bit frustrating in the early parts, but it's a long season, and you know I'm okay with the way it's going at the moment. Hopefully we can just continue to build throughout like we did last season.
Well, we're going to pump your tyres up a little bit here. We did at the end of last season as well, Luke, but your stats are great. In terms of your wins and expected wins, you're beating, well, for every 100 rides, you're riding 6 more than the market, and you're returning a positive on return on investment. So, you know, that's not easy to do in Hong Kong. You should be a go-to jockey more than many others. So both yourself and Andre are sort of outperforming what the market expects you to. So keep that up. Shane is a jockey that I'm sure plenty that follow Hong Kong racing would be more than happy to follow.
Yeah, I don't think he gets the rights.
And again, I can turn all my speakers on and just blast it throughout the building.
I was saying, I don't think he gets the rides which he should. They're not good enough. Maybe if he could get to the track and talk to more trainers and all that, owners. I don't know what Luke's like, but that's my advice, because you should be getting better rides than what you're getting. So talk more to the trainers and just drive them all mad. Like John Sias hasn't given you a ride. Just drive him mad every day to give you 1. It doesn't matter if it's 100 to 1. Eventually he's going to put you on.
What do you think of that, Luke?
I've sent a lot of messages to him, and it's really the exact same response. So I'm not saying I've stopped, but it's maybe a battle for another day.
Well, just keep battling, mate, because your riding's doing the talking for you. Let's have a look at your rides on Saturday. We set up your day, and after this interview, I mean, you've got 6 out of the 10 rides. We'll get you 10 out of 10 into the future. Can we start with Yoda's Choice in the first?
He's back down into Class 5 now on his preferred surface. So hopefully he can just find his old dirt form, and that should be good enough to run a good race.
Yeah, he's a horse that likes to roll along. One of the interesting runners that I wanted to ask you about, Infinite Resolve. Look, recent trials have been good. Can we expect a better performance from him? He's in race 9.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a tricky horse. He's not great with changing legs, so he doesn't get off the one leg and then he gets tired. Obviously, not changing legs, but his last trial seemed to point out that he's getting it. He's getting the idea now. I know he had a great first run, and just hasn't followed it up. His last run probably had an excuse with the heart irregularity. But hopefully we can ride him a similar way to we did in that trial, and he can find a finish like that.
Talking about a horse.
He's definitely got ability.
Talking about a horse at trial, well, he could be a bit of a reasonable price, this horse for Casper. Audacious, is it Audacious Spirit that you ride as
Audacious
well?
Pursuit.
Sorry. How did you think he could go? This is a trial from him on the turf, of course.
He's a nice horse. He's a good looker and he moves well. If anything, he's sort of mentally not really there yet, but he's definitely on the right track. He still does a few things wrong, but he's seemed to put it together in his last trial. So if he can do that in the run, he's got somewhat of a soft draw. So if he can have a nice run and get a good toe into it, he can produce a finish, I feel.
And Shane, any of Luke's rides jump off the page for you?
Oh, well, naturally, Precision Gold, he won last start. He's got an awkward gate 11. If he can get across like he did last start and lead again, he's going to run a race. You know that. He's got up in the weight, so he's got 135 pounds. The track suited him this day because it was rain effect, and we all know. But what did you think? Can he handle 135 pounds, Luke?
Well, looking at the forecast, we could be in for a rain-affected track again. It's either going to get us or we're just going to miss it. But I think we're due rain Saturday night or Sunday. I think he can. Last season he used to race a bit fierce against the bridle and probably do a bit too much down the back. Whereas this season he's an old campaigner now, and I know when I say that he's a 7-year-old, but he used to travel a bit too hard last season, and his first run there, he switched off really well down the back, even though he had that pressure. So he's doing everything right. He's come through his run well. If he can get an uncontested lead and nothing come and put pressure on us too soon, then hopefully we can pinch it.
Luke, before you go and before we say goodbye and wish you luck, your father David and your mother Pam, how are they doing? Of course, David trained for many years in Hong Kong. I'm sure you got to see them in the off-season. Please send them all of our love. But how are they doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I will. Dad's good. He's driving Mum mad, but
Nothing's changed then.
I'd be worried if Mum wasn't complaining about him.
It's a Friday, mate. You're chatting to us in the morning. What's on for the rest of the day? How do you prepare for a big race day?
I'm fairly big on my routine. We obviously had a trials this morning, so I won't do much for the rest of the day until about late afternoon, and then depending on how much weight I got to pull it for tomorrow, I'll get to doing that and going through the card too.
Chill out, get ready. It's going to be a big day. You've got a nice book of rides. We are enjoying your success. Thanks so much for joining us on the show, and we look forward to chatting to you again soon. Well done.
Thanks very much, guys, for having me, and see you in December.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Luke Ferraris, our very special guest. He is a quality young rider, that young man.
Well, you forget how young he is.
That's right.
I know he's grown up in Hong Kong, Shane, but it's not an easy environment in Hong Kong. Very sort of competitive, to put it mildly. So he's doing really well.
I think he's younger than most of the apprentices in Hong Kong that are riding. Right. I think Luke could be, 22, 21, 22? So he's very young. He's done a really good job, but he's just got to talk to every trainer more and more and more because he should be getting better rides.
Yeah, and he will continue to develop there, no doubting that.
Mentioned his father David, of course, trained Vengeance of Rain, who I think Lloyd Williams owned Vengeance.
Correct,
of Rain.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sold him over to Hong Kong.
One in Dubai.
You would have spent a little bit of time with him over the years in Hong Kong, David?
A little bit. Ripper guy.
Ripping guy. He's got some stories on Hutchie, but that's when you have to push red for that part of our show.
Correct.
Correct. A quick break. Hope you're enjoying the show. Let's find some future winners with Hutchie's form files. And Hutch, we start with your sweet in defeat. Who caught your eye?
That we do, Richo. Yeah, horse that caught my eye last week. Sunday's Serenade. I thought this was a really good performance from this galloper who's having his second run of the preparation, of course. And we can see him in sixth position here, 2 wide. The horse in the 3 wide line about to move around him at this point in time, Gale Saga, I think just really made Karras make a decision here. And you'll see as they go about halfway around the bend, he doesn't want to commit too soon and make that early run. He ends up not making a move at that stage of the race, and then as a consequence, sort of being held up quite badly in the straight. As you can see, Alexi rolls around him at this point. So he is now needing a little bit of luck back in behind. Look, he goes to make a run back to the inside. The horse in front shifts. He goes back around, tries to get a run outside. Once again, does not get a run at any point of the race. And this was just a great performance. I mean, a very solid run from him. His 2 runs this preparation have been excellent. I think that he's ready to win one. Nice win, it has to be said, from the victorious horse. But Sunday's Serenade, you have to think that he finishes very close there, Richo, with any sort of luck in running.
Absolutely. So let's have a look at our sweet in defeat from Sha Tin. And we have 2 meetings at Sha Tin. And, of course, Sunday's Serenade is one of those. Who are the others?
Yeah, look, I like the run of Good Luck Babe on the dirt. I think there's a race for him there. Blazing Wukong was excellent on a strong speed. Star Rise was an eye-catcher. It was his first run in Hong Kong, a former Australian import that's really ran well. And Riding High, early stage the other day, wasn't easy to make up ground at Sha Tin. I thought there was a lot of merit to his run. He went back from that gate. Like all of those, put them down to your black book. And I think they'll be hard to beat when they next step out.
And we'll keep monitoring them. What about your Hutchie's Honkers top raider?
Yeah, there was a couple of good performances. Shane, what about this win from Tomodachi Kokoro? Like, beautiful ride, I thought, from Harry Bentley. Geez, riding really well, Harry, and he got into the 1-1. He let the race unfold. He wasn't, too keen to push the button. This horse ran serious time.
He trialled like this, Clint. He's definitely come back better, but, he had never trialled before this race ever as well the previous 2 seasons. So for some reason, he's just clicked in Hong Kong and he looked really good. He gave him a perfect ride and he was very impressive.
Yeah, he's certainly gone to a different level, hasn't he? So that's an outstanding performance. Anything else catch your eye?
Yeah, there was
future winners.
Yeah, look, there's another horse that ran very good time, Fast Network. They dropped him back. He was our best early in the season over 14. Shane mentioned probably having him handy didn't suit. Well, they dropped him back in trip, and Shane, they rode him quiet, and he won well here. This is a horse that I think can step up. I think that while we've got Ka Ying Rising there, he's not that far away from a Helios Express. I think he can run a place in a Hong Kong sprint. Shane, but he got the ride that I think you wanted the last time.
Yeah, he should have gone back last start. There's no doubt about that over 14. He'll run 14, but he just doesn't want to be ridden up there. He's a nice horse. You got to remember this time last year, he was only 52 rating, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's only had the 1 season here, and he's done a really good job, that horse.
Okay, so Fast Network also has caught our attention. While I was away, how's the Hutchie's Honkers been going? How have you been performing?
We've been battling away.
Please, you never battle.
Yeah,
come on,
the first month's always a little tricky, is it? Because you've got horses resuming and, you're sort of getting a bit of a feel. Generally in September we do well. We're a little bit down both in best and overall. So we've got a lift, but there's our overall strategy over the number of years. So maybe it's a good time to join in. Get on the QR code and join, because we're going to kick some goals coming up.
I like that. Scan that QR code, get involved, because by gee, if he comes off a month where he didn't win, he tends to bounce back, the great man, because he gets home his wife gives him a pep talk, looks him straight in the eye.
True.
The finger gets pointed and you lift.
Yeah. Or either that or she just doesn't talk to me.
Well, there's one of those. It's one of those ways it goes about it. Whatever the reason, Shane, he certainly lifts. Hey, just quickly,
That's why I don't have one.
No, that's why you have many.
I don't get the pep talk.
Yeah, imagine how many pep talks you receive, my friend. Now, while we're talking about ratings, I was wondering what you thought about the performance in the Golden Rose of Biawak here, who led and was super impressive for mine.
He was very impressive. He jumped to the front. He got a good ride. I actually said Tempered got a very good ride too. And she might be suited back in a 1200, but he was impressive. So what do you do with him? Do you go up to a mile or do you drop back to 1200?
Yeah, it's going to be
interesting.
Yeah, and I think Tempted, you raised a really good point, maybe head towards something like the Coolmore for her, which of course will be part of that Whirlpool meeting on Derby Day. G1 Goldmine has some info for us.
Yeah, shares of the runner in behind, of course, it's finished fourth and, you know, a really nice performance,
Skyhook.
all the same, Skyhook. But, Richo, I mean, that was one of the highest rated races that they've got going around. Like, they've just ran incredible times. So it could be one of those that those in behind, you know, have their share of spring or future features going forward because it was something pretty special.
Yeah, so heading towards the Coolmore, and that'll be some sort of race, and we'll see a lot of that play out on Saturday at Flemington in the Danehill Stakes. Well, this is the part that all of the jockeys all around the globe tune into. It's idle time. It's idle time. This is where the Golden Boy, the Hall of Famer in Raymond Shane Dye, casts his eyes over all of the rides he's seen. And Shane, can I start with a positive? Who did you like?
I love this ride, but there was a lot of good rides this week at the two meetings. I'm going to go for Jerry. He's drawn gate 14 on Lucky Sam Gore. Now, he jumps well in his midfield, but Mark would have told him to go back, and Mark's having a lot of winners when they draw wide going back now. And he never drags them back. He lets them get into a stride. But if you watch up around the first bend, what happens? He's looking to get in here. You'll see him have another look. Now, the worst thing he could have done was push on or pulled him straight back. And you see his head's not up in the air, but he's gradually coming back to get in. Now, he could have sat 4 deep, very, very easy as he was there. But the first opportunity he gets, he goes, right, I'm coming in. And all of a sudden, he gets to the first bend and he's now one off the fence back. They've gone way too fast. They run a 21.38. So naturally, when they're running that time, the winner will come from back most of the time. But the best thing here is he doesn't panic. He saves ground. And what have I been saying? Horses don't run 600, but they can definitely run 400 or 300 metres. And he just times his run perfectly, but he doesn't switch him. He waits, and he just winds him up perfectly. For a kid, this was just a perfect ride, Clint.
Yeah, it was. I think
Brilliant.
Looks like he's changed his style a little bit too. I noticed stick in the left hand and just the way that he was in the saddle late there. He looks like he's taken some inspiration from maybe a UK jock or two.
Yeah,
but
especially the way he hits back.
Yeah, he looked good. Great ride, like you said, Shannon. I wish it wasn't that good because we were on the second horse, but you're absolutely right.
Well, he got it right. Who got it wrong?
Well, I don't understand this from Vincent Ho and also Matthew I'm watching this. Now, gate 1 leads. So if I'm in gate 2 on Dashing Code, I know gate 1 leads. I'm going to sit outside of him or be third fence. So when he jumps so well, where's the horse? He doesn't look. Look at Vincent. He hasn't looked. He should have crossed him straight away. And why is Matthew digging up when they're going fast? He should have taken a sit. Now he has a look and he's inside, so he's got to go faster. So it actually burns Dashing Code. Call Me Gorgeous had to stop when he did that on it. But no matter what, either one of them wouldn't won. But Vincent, when you jump first like that and the leader's inside you and he's not beside you, you've got to look and come straight across and get to the fence, because then you get a really soft lead, a very, very soft lead, unless something comes across. But by then Matthew digging up, which he shouldn't have, and making Dancing Code go further, it wasted a little bit of energy with Dancing Code. but he wouldn't have won. The winner was too good. But I just picked that up watching the race, going cross to the fence. Why you draw 2 and you don't want to be on the fence has got me beat.
Yeah, so Vincent jumping so well, but then not going to the rail, and then Matthew kicking up. It ends up being the perfect storm for those who want to get that horse beaten.
And
both of them.
Harry was just sitting in the 1-1 saying,
going,
bring
"Mate,
it,
you
bring it
guys
on."
do you,
Yeah.
because I am going to kill you." Now this year, change to the idle voting. It's, of course, 2 times it's been won by Zach Purton. It's only 3-2-1, Shane. Let's have a look at them.
Okay, well, Jerry gets 3 because he rode Lucky Sam Gore, but also Healthy Happy. What a ride. The only way that horse won was because of the ride. He rated him perfectly. He went fast out of the gates, dropped the pace at the half mile, and then he sprinted up the straight. It was just a perfect ride on an outsider. I thought Zach on Oriental Smoke was just outstanding. Anyone else rides that horse, it probably doesn't win. He won the race. He drove it out of the gates. He put it up there, gave it a perfect ride, 4th or 3rd, come out at the 600 and was very strong, and also his ride on Invincible Ibis was perfect. He went back. Andrea, gate 14, went back, come through him. He rode a couple of winners very well. I also thought that even though he's not up there, Alexei Bedell's riding very well, and his ride on a couple of horses were really good, and I could have given him points too. But
So Jerry Chow takes the lead, Golden Boy.
It's going to be an interesting season.
Mate, interesting is the understatement.
Yep.
Fascinating is the word that comes straight to mind.
Okay.
Bowman and Purton sitting there on 4. So at the moment, basically for the first time in idle history, Zach's not leading.
Exactly. And they've got a chance.
They've got a chance because of the 3-2-1.
Absolutely.
You can pull out 10 outstanding weeks out of the 40 and you could win. You could have 30 votes.
Go Jerry.
Okay, love it. Global racing on the other side of the break. Hope you're enjoying the show.
Horse racing here in Hong Kong is absolutely huge because, you know, people of Hong Kong, they love to gamble. The only 2 forms of gambling is the horse racing and the English Premier League. The crowd, it's a very different atmosphere than what you'd expect in Australia. In Australia, it's a very social gathering. You know, people are there to meet people, dress up, enjoy the festivities, enjoy the races, have a little flutter. In Hong Kong, people are here to bet.
Sunday at Sha Tin is business. You'll see a lot of people sitting around with their form guide around the parade ring, studying the horses, studying the racing. Here at Sha Tin on Sunday, they're trying to find a winner.
But it's Kaying rising well clear. It's an easy trick to base camp now to climb Everest.
It's this great fandom and this tribalness which has come along with a horse like Kaying Rising. They really latch on to the champions. Saw it with Golden 60, saw it with Silent Witness. But this fella, it's almost a little bit different because it's global. They know he's going overseas. The Hong Kongers have latched onto him and they know he's going to fly the flag.
They get behind their big horses and they're very parochial. So when our good horses travel overseas, like Romantic Warrior has recently, the whole city gets behind the horse when it travels.
Hong Kong always wants to be on the international stage. They put on those massive international races, and to showcase their horses overseas means a lot to Hong Kong and the Hong Kong racing fans. I think they'll be very proud to have a horse that could have won the richest turf race in the world.
Everyone will be watching. There'll be no one in Hong Kong that's not watching. And I had to book my flight early to make sure I was going to get a ticket and get a seat on the plane. I didn't want to miss out because there are going to be a lot of people from Hong Kong that are going to go down and support him in person, as well as all his followers and his fans from down there in Australia.
The world's best sprinter, Kaying rising.
I think that just sums it up absolutely perfectly what racing is like in Hong Kong.
Yeah, definitely. It's starting to get the excitement levels already up and about, Shane. And it's very true what Huey and Zach said there about the culture in Hong Kong, the focus. I mean, they don't really have any other sports, do they? It's all about racing.
Correct. It's you hop in a taxi, they know you straight away and they want to talk racing and they get on the phone to other people while you're in the taxi telling them that you're in their taxi. It's their number one sport, and everyone knows racing in Hong Kong.
And they remember their heroes too. Walking around the Sha Tin with Shane Dye is a lot of fun.
Well, I was going to ask you this, Shane. So, they are treated like rock stars.
Oh, yeah.
Right? All these jockeys. How have you coped when you first retire and you're not riding anymore? I know you'd be all right, but do you miss it a bit, all the notoriety?
No, not at all.
Adulation?
I don't miss it at all. No, I don't miss it at all. I haven't missed riding because I'm doing what I've wanted to do, and that was gamble and bet. So I haven't missed not riding. Trust me on that.
No, not the riding side of it. The popular, like having people, when you're a rider there,
you're a rock star.
Like I said, you're a rock star. People open doors,
But I know it was great when it was on, but you got to understand everything in life ends at some stage. And I realised that once my career was over, I would be less noticeable because I didn't want to be on the TV. I'm on here, but, I could be on TV, radio and bloody papers every day if I wanted to be, but I'm not. And I kind of hid. But when I go back to Hong Kong, I'm still noticed, which is really nice, and I appreciate that. And Richo saw it with me when we went out and whatever. So they don't forget. And you got to remember, I've been gone 20 years.
He never left your side, Shane. He
I was like a magnet. I was just watching him in Agile.
Eating lobster, I got left out anyway.
Yeah, anyway. One day we'll include you again on that. This is going to be the most watched barrier trial in history, I think. Yeah. Next Tuesday, Shane, we're Karging Rising as a barrier trial at Randwick. What do you want to see as the horse expert? What do you want to see?
I don't want him to have too hard a trial, but it's not up to me. It's up to David and Zach. They know him backwards. He'll just jump out, be there, and he'll look $1 million like he always does. I don't need to see anything because I know what he's going to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I don't think he'll give him a hard trial, put it that way. But he won't. I don't think he'll give him a soft trial. Like back in the day, we'll talk about back in the day. Shane would be so far out of screen you couldn't see him on a couple of when he was trialling them quietly. But I think
it's about showing that he's settled in. It's about showing that he's acclimatised. About showing that he can,
you want to give him a reasonable blad. He's still got a nice bit of time between now and the main event. So. I think it's
meant to be a very strong trial too, Clint. There's other Everest horses in it, so I'm told.
That's great.
So it's all building up towards the Everest, which is on in a couple of weeks' time. So this barrier trial is on Tuesday, and of course the Whirlpool covers absolutely everything. So Might and Power Day, which is the big Group 1 race day, part of Caulfield Guineas Day, of course, and then Dewhurst Stakes Day in the UK. We go to Everest Day, which is positioned alongside the Caulfield Cup. We have that unbelievable, beautiful contrast between the glitz and glamour of the Everest, where HUTCHI will be, and the history and tradition of the Caulfield Cup. Yep. Champions Day at Ascot as well.
That might be one of the biggest and best days of racing in the world. You've got Caulfield Cup, Everest, like you said, British Champions Day, and then we go down to Brazil as well.
A quick look around the world. We've had some interesting racing that we need to update you on. Sibian winning the Prix von Europa over in Germany.
Yes, this was the feature race with the Whirlpool last week. And of course, once again, just to give Idle Horse a bit of a push, I think it was Dave Morgan who wrote the piece. It's a fantastic go-to if you want to get all things world racing. And they've done some recent pieces with Hong Kong. But a predictable result. And Sabine has gone about it pretty well there in Germany. So,
and what do you make of Lucky Swainess, who disappointed in Japan?
I thought there were genuine excuses, Shane. I didn't mind the run. Like, he was back and wide. He kept on okay late. He didn't get a lot of room late here in the straight. It's one of those tracks as well. You kind of got to draw a barrier and you've got to land on in the right spot. And he just never found it.
He just doesn't have that gate speed, and that's the problem with him. He ran all right. He didn't go great, but he didn't go bad. He just didn't have the right run. It wasn't the jockey's fault. It's the horse's fault.
And Forever Young, who, of course, is the Saudi Cup winner in that unbelievable battle.
Still haven't got over it. It's still too soon. Don't mention it.
Well, don't worry. We might have a chance to relive that into the future with Forever Young versus Romantic Warrior again. So a huge crowd was there, and he prepares for the Breeders' Cup. Now, this is the big news. So from Romantic Warrior, Danny Schum saying that he is back. I loved his trial. He looped around them nice and quiet. So what are we doing? Group 2, November 23, into Hong Kong Cup, and then off we go to Saudi.
Hey, Shane, how good would that be if we, be like an Ali Fraser type setup. This is
let's just go
round
again.
2 next
go
year.
again.
There's some unfinished business, isn't there?
Well, definitely. He should have won last year, I believe, as you do. And I just hope he comes back as well, because he has had that operation. But his trial looked good, so there's no reason why he won't on his trial. Denisham does a great job of preparing this horse first up over 2,000 metres. It's quite incredible. He has him ready and he performs well. So it's going to be interesting.
And it's Arc weekend, Shane. I should know the answer. Did you ever get to ride in the Arc when you were travelling around the globe?
No, I didn't. It's a great race, this.
It sounds like he's a bit miffed that he didn't. But
Well-
Andre Razzani's going back for it. He's leaving Saturday night, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Gia Velotto, a horse that we love.
How good was that last year?
Thank
And
you.
he actually won in obviously the Hong Kong Vars, but he beat the early favourite for the Arc on the all-weather in England not long ago. I'm not sure about him on the wet track, but good to see Andre going over. Great day's racing though, Shane, all the same.
Richo, I reckon that's the best race in the world, the Arc.
Yeah.
From probably the Kentucky Derby, from the English Derby, from the Grand National, but the Grand National's lost a little bit since the Goody Goods got involved. And the Melbourne Cup, there you go. But if you ask most good jockeys around the world, the race they want to win, they'll tell you the Kentucky Derby. Not the Aussie jockeys, but the ones around the world, the big ones. They want to win the Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky Derby, the Arc for mine. If only the Arc was
not on a
4 weeks earlier. So it's not, because this is the thing that's been the frustration, Shane. So Gia Velotto, Andrea had said he might make his way over there, and then if it is wet as they expect, he won't run. That's the frustration with this race, that in recent years it's been on a bog track.
Well, it normally is, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you had it a month earlier, it'd be on a drier surface, and I think it would 100% stand as the best race in the world.
I mean, that's the little part that I don't like about it. But, the French are so, their representation at home is very strong, and you've got to be a superstar to go there and win that race.
And Japan's been trying to win it for 100 years and haven't yet, but they keep trying. That's the one race in the world they want to win.
They're desperate, and the rain keeps falling for them, which they don't like. Of course, the Australian Spring Carnival is really in full swing now, and the Whirlpool will literally have it all covered. A very quick break. Social Stable's about to join us, and also don't forget Best Bets. Social Stable, this caught my eye. We say a big happy birthday to a couple of the legends of Hong Kong racing in Beat the Clock, who turned 12, Beauty Generation turned 13, and Silent Witness turned the big 26, otherwise known as Teddy, Genie and Silly. We say happy birthday to those legends. They're out at Living Legends as well. And we did see the little kiss from the Crawfords as well. Well, the Beddells said, if that's good enough for you, it's good enough for us. We'll get involved with a little PDA as well, a public display of affection. We call that Hutchbuster as well. Hey, our tour is completely sold out. Matty Campbell's going to join us on that. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let's have a look at the best bets. Best bets, Hutch, lead us away.
Yeah, for races that we have previewed as well. I really like this meeting. Bold General, I'm hoping he can continue his rise through the ranks for Jamie Richards, of course, and Zach in the saddle. So I think the race sets up well for him again. He hasn't got that much more weight. He'll be hard to beat. And another horse I'm going to stick with as well, or jump on the tram of anyway, that's Metro Power. I thought that last win was excellent. More than happy to be with him again.
Golden Boy, have you got one, especially early? I love when you go early.
Okay, I'll go early. I'll go race 4, number 12, Straffier. Gate 1, get a good run. Hardly ever wins. I think he's only won one race, but he always runs 4th or 5th, but he gets his chance in this race to win from gate 1. Ran all right the other day.
Well, we don't want him to come 4th or 5th. We want him to come first.
He's very consistent. He'll get a good run. I think he'll be right in the game.
Hey, guess what? Next week, it's a phone a friend day. We are bringing in the big guns. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Our special guest will be this guy. There he is. You might not recognise him. He's put a little rinse through the hair there to the silver, or maybe
he's gone blonde.
He's gone blonde.
He's gone blonde.
The mighty Casper Fowles joins us. Maybe if he sees that, he might not join us on the show.
He looks good.
He looks outstanding. Hope you enjoyed the show. Well done, Golden Boy. See you next week, everyone.
Good luck, mate.